Did you know that if you had invested only $44 in Bitcoin in 2011, roughly the equivalent of a nice dinner out, that would be worth over $1 million today? I didn't either until I researched it. Holy cow. Hey folks, this is Jesse with Keeping It Real, the channel that always has your back and tells it like it is. I thought it would be a great time to go and talk about crypto yet again. I've discussed it once on the channel already, but now's the time to revisit it because it is going through the roof. An insane investment opportunity still exists today. More and more people are getting into it, and that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. So you're not going to want to miss this one, all right? Now, as always, if you're a first-time viewer, make sure to hit the subscribe button, click the bell to turn on notifications, and if you enjoy today's video, click that like button. That would help me a lot. I would greatly appreciate it. Gets the word out on the channel, all right? So with that, let's get it going. So today's video is all about the meteoric rise of cryptocurrency that is getting more and more legitimate by the day. All of the big players are starting to notice and are getting involved, including governments, Wall Street firms, you and me, regular investors, pretty much everybody. This is starting to show up on their radar, and that's why I thought this would be a great topic to talk about. So I combed the internet over numerous articles, found numerous things to tell you, and I'm really excited about this video, all right? So, since I posted my original video on cryptocurrency, which I put up in late October, the currencies have absolutely exploded with growth, all right? So, some recent headlines. Here's one per Business Insider. By the way, Business Insider has a lot of great articles. I really enjoy the site. Check it out if you get the chance. Okay, so here's one. Bitcoin should be worth $400,000 based on its scarcity and value versus gold, according to Guggenheim's Scott Minerd. What? It's currently trading at $23,000. He says it should be worth $400,000 if you compared it to gold because it has a lot of the same factors. Okay, so per the article, Guggenheim last month filed to reserve the right for 10% of its $5.3 billion macro opportunities fund to invest in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So it looks like they're all in, okay? Here's another article. This one's per the Wall Street Journal. Bitcoin exchange Coinbase files for IPO. So hey, look at that. It's getting bigger and bigger, right? So Coinbase will be the first major Bitcoin-focused company to test public markets, all right? Now, Coinbase has over 35 million users based in over 100 countries from around the world. So huge exposure here. And it boasts more than 25 billion in assets on the platform and more than 320 billion in total volume traded. That's a lot of money. The company is currently valued near $8 billion. So that's going live next year, an IPO for Coinbase. Now also, here's another article per Business Insider. I really like this one. A reporter spent 10 Bitcoins on a sushi dinner for dozens of strangers in 2013. Those coins are worth $230,000 today. What? So that reporter, Kashmir Hill, a reporter for the New York Times, once lived on Bitcoins for 1 week straight as an experiment, all right? Now, she purchased multiple coins for $136 each. The last night of the experiment, she hosted 15 strangers at a sushi restaurant, Sake Zone, because they were one of the few places that accepted Bitcoin. And that's the funny thing in the article, was she said it was actually really hard that week and she lost 5 pounds because nobody accepted Bitcoin. So somehow she randomly found this restaurant, Sake Zone, that took it. And she decided to give it a whirl on the final night, right? Go out with a bang. So she advertised the dinner on Meetup and Reddit. And to her surprise, more than 60 people ended up attending, including the founders of Burning Man and this wide cast of characters that were some entrepreneurs, some of them were into Bitcoin, some of them were trying to make apps. Really interesting group, right? The total bill was $957, and she felt extremely guilty about paying in Bitcoin to this restaurant for $957. Now, here's the silver lining, the moral of this story. Totally crazy. The restaurant owners of the Sake Zone are retired today with more than 41 Bitcoins worth in excess of $900,000. Come on, right? This is true. This actually happened. So now, has the government noticed the recent surge in crypto? Yep, absolutely. So Fox Business reported that your 2020 income tax form specifically asked the question, at any time in 2020, did you receive, sell, send, exchange, or otherwise acquire any financial interest in any virtual currency? And apparently, they've actually had this out there since 2014. That's when the IRS first got wind of it, kind of right around the time as the sushi restaurant, right? That's when they first put it out there. But the difference this year is that the 1040 has it listed right under your name. So they know it's getting more popular, all right? So for those who don't know, crypto is taxed as a capital gain similar to a stock, right? So, you know, in my last video, I mentioned that tax loss harvesting. That's something that Graham Stephan mentioned in one of his videos. So could you do the same thing with crypto? You could, all right? Now, the article here also states that the IRS has ramped up investigations on underreported cryptocurrency investments in recent years, even summoning digital currency exchange Coinbase and Bitstamp to release information about their investors' activity to clean information about underreported capital assets, all right? So they are onto it. The IRS is not going to let this one slide under the door, all right? Now, even big names are joining the crypto movement, including, on the celebrity front, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, who through his company eForce, and by the way, they're registered in Malta, okay, so that's a wrinkle here, launched his own WozX cryptocurrency last month as a marketplace to help fund energy efficiency projects using blockchain. Totally crazy. Crazy idea, right? So within 15 minutes after launching the token WozX, they reached a market cap of $950 million. What? Just crazy. So now the trick here is with WozX that you can't even buy it in the US. And I have to admit, I even went to his website because I was like, what is this WozX? I'm like, should I throw like $100 on this? I went to it. I went to this eForce. They take you to a link to another site. I couldn't actually buy it, and I couldn't understand it. It's very complicated, confusing, not user-friendly at all. And what I realized was that you actually couldn't buy it on that site. All you could do is trade for it, okay? So in order to purchase WozX, you would need to invest in Tether through your US dollar, through Singapore-based exchange HBTC, then use Tether to buy WozX. So you can't buy it with your money. You have to buy another digital currency and then use that currency to buy WozX, all right? Now, some facts. So since my original posting on the topic in late October, Bitcoin has nearly doubled. I totally saw it coming, called it. For everybody who watched that video, you should be rich right about now, right? So as of that posting, it was trading near 13,000 on that day. Today, a month and a half later, it's trading above 23,000. So basically, you could have nearly doubled your money. And if you haven't seen that video, I would highly recommend you watching it. I go into the background of this whole blockchain thing and how it all started. It's actually really interesting, okay? Now, up to 100 million people own assets today in digital currency, and the number continues to climb. So more and more people are getting into this. The recent interest is credited to institutional investors, Wall Street pros, and retail investors. So it's not just one group, sort of all three of the groups are aligning to all get behind it. And with the PayPal news, when they legitimized it, more and more companies are using it. Square also uses crypto, okay? So is Bitcoin and other digital currency worth the risk? I would argue absolutely. And here's an example, okay? So this article from CNBC, Make It, is actually what inspired this whole video in the first place. So the article was titled, "This Crypto Millionaire Bought a Lamborghini for $115 thanks to Bitcoin." Awesome, love it. Total YouTube title. And guess what? The guy is on YouTube. He's on YouTube. He has a channel. Go check it out. So the story follows Peter Saddington, a 35-year-old coder who cashed in 45 Bitcoins to buy a Lamborghini. Now, those 45 coins originally cost him less than $115, and he bought a Lambo. So when he first invested in November of 2011, one coin was worth $2.52. Now, what kills me here is I remember 2011. I had money. I could have easily thrown down $500 on this and not thought about it for 10 years. Holy cow. Holy cow. I cannot believe the meteoric rise here on Bitcoin. So now while he hasn't disclosed how many coins he currently owns, at the time he purchased more than 1,000. All right. So at today's value, if you do the math, 1,000 coins times roughly 23,000 as of today's video, that's $23 million. That's a lot of money. All right. Now, those owners of crypto actually have their own culture where it's popular to hold, or as they refer to it, hodl. I don't know why that is. But they refer to it as being a hodl or hodler, okay? And with the main exception of buying Lamborghinis. That's true. So they love Lambo memes. Even the Lambo dealerships are showing a correlation between purchases and the value of Bitcoin. So as the value of Bitcoin has risen, more Lambos are being bought. Totally crazy, right? So now the ironic thing here is that the dealers don't actually take Bitcoin, but rather they use a third party known as BitPay that works similar to PayPal as an exchange. So it helps to decrease the risk and volatility that the currency brings. So they don't want to just accept the coins because that's too risky for them because the coins can go way up or way down. But they do want to use this exchange and get the value out of it. Okay? So now, what is the verdict? Well, if the blockchain digital currencies are limited and they really do operate similar to gold, is it worth the risk to invest in them because they are finite? I would argue, hell yes. Of course it is. Absolutely yes. If I would have known Bitcoin would have doubled from October a month and a half ago, wow. And that's just Bitcoin. There's many other coins out there, okay? So now with PayPal offering to accept Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Ethereum, each could be worth the risk. Absolutely. And what's amazing is that Bitcoin is the popular one, so that's the one that's over 23,000. The other three aren't. Maybe an opportunity there, right? Now, as celebrities get into crypto, those may also be worth a try. However, I'd say only with fun money that you could afford to lose. So outside of Steve Wozniak, there's some rappers that have created their own coins. Lil Yachty has a coin, apparently. And so could you invest in their coin? Yeah, I guess you could. You know, if somebody will exchange it out and it could be worth something. Hey, who knows? You know, the Wozniak idea is a little different. It's not just based on his celebrity. It's an idea to fund green, renovations and commercial businesses. So that's a little bit different. But hey, something to look into, right? Now, the reality, though, is as more and more large firms invest in crypto, its value will continue to increase. So it should keep going up as more and more big investors start getting into it. Another plus is that crypto is appealing to investors from around the world because it is not controlled by any one country. So that is a huge appeal. So that's one of the cons with investors around the world, that they always hate that everything goes back to the US dollar. Because if their country is not in perfect alignment with the US, or their country's at odds, they really don't want to be investing in a currency for a country that they don't like, right? So that's the beauty here of cryptocurrency, is that it's not controlled by any one country. Totally amazing. So as more and more people on the planet get into this, and crypto is finite, the value, depending on the currency, should rise over time. So what's the bottom line? The bottom line is, really, it's good to invest long and be a hodler. All right, folks, that's it for today's video on crypto and the meteoric rise. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope you take a look into these, because there is a huge investment opportunity. As I stated back in 2011, if I would have spent $45 on Bitcoin, I would be a millionaire today. And that's only 9 years ago. I mean, that's just crazy. I blew thousands of dollars on things that were worthless, completely worthless. And I could have tried out something like this. So my point here is that if you have, $50, maybe $100, if you don't really trust them, just throw a little bit in and leave it in long. You don't necessarily have to get into Bitcoin. There are other options. There's numerous coins out there. If you go on something like Coinbase, you could see the different coins. Even if you just did a simple Google search or Wikipedia search on cryptocurrency, you can see there's plenty of coins out there. There's plenty of opportunity. If there's a coin that you believe in, or that you think has the potential to go big, you absolutely need to look into this. This is a massive investment opportunity. And as I stated, if you would have invested in Bitcoin a month and a half ago, you would have nearly doubled your money. Totally crazy. All right? So I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, if you did, please make sure to hit the like button. That'd be super awesome. And this is Jesse with Keeping It Real, and I will see you next time. Later.